Howdy, folks. We're back, episode 168 of This World Blows, with your host, Asher Rogers. What should I talk about? Just kidding. I have a large list of notes of things I'm upset about, and things that I think are just plain hilarious. Let me start with this. This award season. I cannot wait for this award season. Because it's the award, I'm fucking this joke up, but the idea is the award for most offensive movie goes to Twisters. Can you guys believe that Twisters just dropped? It just came out, and the world is enduring so much horrific. It's funny in general that, like, people, we used to love, I mean, maybe we still do love crazy movies, but we used to love crazy movies and stuff in America because we weren't seeing that in real life. Like, we loved Twister because we had never actually been sucked up in the sky by a tornado. But nowadays, almost every person in America has been sucked up into the sky by at least one tornado at one point in life. So it's no longer fun to have fun with, okay? Like, you talk about, like, people that are triggered by things. Think about in the future, like, they're not going to be able to make movies at all because everyone will have endured every trauma there is on this trajectory. Like, any disaster movie, if you make it nowadays, it is very insensitive because at least, like, there's a huge population that literally did experience it. So that's exciting news. This crazy hurricane tornado thing that's been going on. Tragic, of course, but I did notice. Maybe you guys noticed this too. The coming up until the actual hurricane hit was like straight up murder porn on the news. Like, everyone was hyping it up that this is going to be the most destruction you've ever seen in your life. They were saying Category 5. They were dropping, every news place was dropping something every 30 minutes on. There's a new update. Like, they have to have an update on YouTube. Up until the hurricane actually hit, and then there was no updates because it was not as bad as they thought. And anyone listening, yes, it was bad, of course. It was like it was a Category 3, I think. Of course, plenty damage. Of course, there will be plenty of deaths. But they were selling this. They were selling to this, like, they were selling us like we should get popcorn and get ready to watch the world end. And I was literally getting so excited. Not that I want someone to die. I'm just saying, it worked. They were getting me hyped up. Going like, this is going to hit. This is going to be the craziest thing anyone has ever fucking seen. And then when it came, they didn't show up. Like, the news was humiliated that there weren't more deaths. And so they started dropping things every, like, 5 hours. They'll update you. It used to be every 30 minutes. Up until this happened, you were going, this is so important, you have to stay tuned in. It was so embarrassing. The news became the next Fousey tube. And if you don't get that reference, you probably shouldn't, because if you're my age, you definitely shouldn't at all. But if you do get that reference, and you do know FouseyTube as this failed, horrible YouTuber who sold an event that Drake was going to be at, although he was not, and then failed, then you'd understand that was an incredibly funny reference.
I just decided to pull out my Instagram and say a message to Drake. Drake, I'm here outside right now. I'm crying outside the club. And I put it out there with true intentions. That's energy. I have bipolar and depression. That what you put into my head made me want to kill myself!
It is funny, there's all these, like, YouTuber, I mean, everyone knows the names like Logan Paul and these people that are becoming so big, but, like, I truly didn't know so many of these figures that are very famous, like Aiden Ross, KSI, all these fucking losers. Never really heard of them until recently. I've been sucked down the portal of hatred. So now I'm, like, gonna be making jokes which the references will only work on 13-year-olds, because the only fucking losers that are gonna watch these kind of people are 13-year-olds. Not to say you're a loser by being a 13-year-old. I'm just saying you're a loser by watching Aiden Ross or any of these quote-unquote kick streamers, which are just people that literally sit in front of a screen and watch a chat log and kind of react and kind of talk in this hyped up, no cap, bro. It's a no cap society. But now I know a lot more about all of those horrible people. And part of that is because I actually got sucked into the show Red Bar, which previously, months ago, I referenced Red Bar and that I didn't like him. And that was true at the time. I found his voice obnoxious. But I've listened to enough, and he actually has a slogan on his show that is "Give it a year" or something like that, and you'll like it. And it's true. Like I listened to it enough, and now I actually 100% love Red Bar. I support Red Bar entirely. He's taking down comedians in a really funny way, and people that take it serious are hilarious idiots. So I love Red Bar. I mean, he says, I'll say this: anyone that goes out and checks out Red Bar, don't listen to it with a child, because it is certainly more offensive than even this podcast. And he does say some words that I don't necessarily think one should say on air, but he's funny, and what he's doing is he's doing the Lord's work by attacking quote unquote comedians, these rich pieces of shit that are absolutely not funny, like Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, all these arena touring idiots. But basically, Red Bar recovered anyone online. So because of the show Red Bar, Mike David, now I know Aiden Ross and all these stupid YouTubers, streamers, whatever this stuff is. I only know it because of getting involved in his show. So I just had to be honest about that. It's not from my own research, because I never would have started looking into. Like, I truly can't watch more than 1 minute maybe of Logan Paul or any of those types of shows, even if it's someone hating on them, because the cameras are constantly moving and zooming, and it's just so annoying that it's hard to even hate watch for me, which that's saying a lot, because y'all know my style. Speaking of hate watching, there's I've talked about this woman for a while on this. I might have talked about this woman for a year, but her name's Cheryl Ling, or Kat Ling, or My Rice Girl online. I've talked about her many times. I don't really know how I found this person, but it was by finding this lower than C tier movie called Rice Girl that is a racist romp. You guys, if you've heard me talk about it before, it's literally just a racist movie about. It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's one of those like 80s offensive comedies, but it was made in 2023 or something. It's it's unreal. It's crazy. But the lead of this is this crazy woman, Cheryl Ling, who has had a lot of facial surgery and is an older woman from China who is legitimately crazy. She's constantly on her Instagram in a bikini with fake tits, screaming about pro-Trump stuff. She's psychotic, talking about that the gym got her kicked out. She got kicked out of the gym because they hate Trump. That kind of crazy level person. But she thinks she's an actress and has been in these kind of weird C-tier sex comedies, I guess, since the 90s out in LA. And so I've been making fun of her and pointing her out for maybe a year. I don't know. I can't verify this. But last week, I'm in a grocery store in Los Angeles, and I see someone from behind who has very wet hair. And I was only looking at her because I was like, why is this person's hair so wet? It didn't make sense. The rest of her was not. So I was just looking at her hair. She turns around, and it's My Rice Girl. It is Cheryl Ling looking me in the fucking face. And I mean, you guys, I've talked about it in the last cast. I've talked about it ad nauseum that and I hate simulation stuff, but I'm just saying the amount of people that I've pulled into my own reality out of the internet does not make sense. It does not make sense to find and locate Cheryl Ling. She's not famous. She's not I didn't know she lived in. I don't know. It's crazy. The stuff that's revolving around my world is it's insane. And there's also someone else I've been making fun of. This person who calls herself a comedian. She calls herself the Janet Roth, but she's someone who participates in some comedy shows at the Comedy Store. Basically, she's one of those people that comedians think she's incredibly hot, so she gets to be in shows, but she's not funny. This Ukrainian woman who just is literally only talking about that she's hot, and it's very annoying and very cringe, I guess is what it would be called. And also been making fun of her for about a year, and I was driving down the street a few months ago and just saw her standing there, and I go, I can't believe what's happening to me. I'll make fun of someone for 6 months to a year, and then they appear in real life. It's man, I wish I had been focusing on making fun of tons of money and making that appear to me, because it doesn't help me at all to run into Cheryl Ling, although it was very exciting. I almost asked for her autograph. I waited outside of the grocery store, and then I was like, I don't know what she's crazy, so I'm I don't know if I can even. She'll probably think I'm FBI if I just go, can I have your autograph? But I did secretly film her and send it to Gabe, so there's that. There's proof that I saw my rice girl. Wow. So that kind of threw me off. I did want to say one last thing. I just wrote this down and forgot about this. The hurricane thing. There was a guy, I guess, found 30 miles out in the ocean floating on a cooler. And I mean, can you imagine? They found him, thank God. I mean, he's alive. But can you imagine? I can't. Like, that is my greatest fear is dropped in the middle of the ocean. Like, just a slow, horrific death. And floating on a cooler is almost worse because it's like, well, it's not worse, but it's like he's getting dragged out further, you know, like 30 miles out in the ocean, and then thank God a helicopter spots you or whatever. Like, holy shit. That guy will have nightmares until the day he dies. So God bless him. Move away from the fucking ocean. This is funny. Now, I'm flip-flopping back on these topics. I'm going to go back into hating on these Logan Paul cyber boys. This is really all out of order, but I'm sorry. I'm just remembering the things that I hate about people. And so I'm willing to go back and talk about it. But one thing I've noticed about all of these no-cap cyber streamer boys is almost all of them, they rely entirely, whether it's Adam22, DJ Academics, Sharp, Moist Critical, Young Sack Chaser, or Johnny Somali. These people all are relying on giving themselves a new name to be famous, because no one would watch you if you went by David Marcus, because that's boring, and what you are is actually boring. So you've given yourself the name Young Sack Chaser, so that people will just click on it, which is so funny to me. Like the idea of, I mean, it's like bands give themselves name. They go, "This is what we are," and that's funny already. That's one concept. Rappers do that, and they go, "Yo, my name's not Darren, whatever. It's Little Boosie," and that's hilarious to me too. It's the same principle. It's like I want you to look at me, so I'm calling myself something more interesting than my boring God-given name. 50 Cent, what's his name? Clarence or something? Yeah. I mean, I get it. You guys want to sound cool. But when it comes to streamers, people who are just filming themselves watch a chat, you're not putting out music, you're not putting out a thing to even pretend that you are an artist and saying, I want this to be identified as this. You're just a guy who watches videos and reacts, and you go, yo, call me DJ Academics. And then people call him Ac. People give you sub-nicknames of the nickname you gave yourself. I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, the one thing you weren't allowed to do is give yourself a nickname. That's considered pathetic. If you went up to someone and said, hey man, could you start calling me like Sharp guy, or hey man, could you call me Shark? People would slap you. People would they might start calling you the name to make fun of you for the rest of your life if you asked someone to call you a nickname. That's truly like that's the sad kid in school who's telling you he's got a different name or trying to make himself look special. Like it, and I mean that's what a streamer is too. It's a person who literally sat on the computer long enough and got enough other losers to want to be them. I mean, we're talking levels of sad, but I've just noticed how funny it is. It's like these people couldn't get you to watch them if they went by the name Eddie. You can't. That's proof of how much you fucking suck. Is that your name is part of the reason we ever looked at you. Just like Billie Eilish or any of these fucking artists, it's like, yeah, if you went by Cynthia, whatever your real name is, no one would even click play. Which I guess you could also blame the American public for being so vain that they wouldn't click on a song by the artist named Cynthia or something. But, you know, I don't know, it's all fucking stupid. Now let's get into something that's not stupid. I've been meaning to talk about this, kept forgetting about it. This is why you gotta take notes, folks. But dear friend of the show, Matt Smith, his musical group, Talking with Hands, just released a whole new, not album, but a couple of singles. There's more to come. Brand new music video that I helped create with Matt Smith. I got to do a remix of the song Number One Record, which is an incredible song, guys. Please check it out. Sincerely, please go like and subscribe. Do whatever you have to do. Just make it known that you liked it, okay? But listen, it really is. I mean, I've known Matt since I was a child. We've originally made music together in the band The Smartest Monkeys. And I would say this song, Number One Record, is like probably top 2 of his catchiest songs of all time.
I wanna make a number one record
love it. It's stuck in my head all the time. Great track. Check it out. Great video. Check it out. And help spread the word, guys. Support the people you pretend to like. Like me. Okay? What else is going on? What else is going on here, folks? I guess we can go from great music to bad music. For some reason, the band Thursday came to mind the other day, and I go, oh yeah, I remember a very specific time period in my life, which was when Thursday came out. And I remember, even though I don't know if it was like 17 or 18, or I'm not sure how old I am when that comes out. But either way, I remember going, I guess I'm old, because this is so lame. And like, if you think this is interesting or cool or emotional, or not, like, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen, and kids are digging on this. And it was like the turn into AFI and all these like scene core, straighten your hair, what I consider the end of music, period. And I'm not trying to be like a 70s guy, like Led Zeppelin's the way. Not saying that. I'm saying when bands like 30 Seconds to Mars, when people started straightening their hair and the name of the band came before a band was put together, that was to me the end of, like, I guess rock music or whatever. But Thursday was one of those horrible things. I was like, I don't know how to describe this, but when you hear that guy sing, let's listen to a little bit of it. I'm not saying he sounds autistic, but it sounds like he just sounds like this whiny kid that I used to know. Oh my God. It sounds like he has a speech impediment. I don't know if he does, but it sounds like he's got a lisp sometimes and a rounded. What's my code? You can sing it all with the. I'm through this fast. Oh my gosh, it's so. He looks like the McPoyle brother from Always Sunny. Like, he's got like this weird gap in his tooth. He looks hilarious. Guys, go out there and check out Thursday. The song's called Understanding in a Car Crash. God, I hated emo. It was just like trying so hard to mean something, and it means nothing. Those vocals. I don't want to feel this way forever. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's quickly get to what they call the breakdown. It's supposed to be the hardest part of the song. There's like phaser on the guitar. This music sounds like someone prompted AI with make a song that a kitchen in a house would create. It sounds like dishpans and stuff. This is horrible. Understanding in a car crash. This is also a very emo thing that was always in the songs. They would have like a scream out phrase like that, and they have to end the song like that. Understanding in a car crash. What does that mean? God. Oh my God, AFI did it on that one video where it ends with him going. They're just like the bitchiest little. Oh my God, I hate these fucking kids. They're not kids. They weren't even kids when this came out. They were like 30. They're probably 60 now, still playing this music. God, there was who was that? There was another. Who was the supreme top emo band? Who is that? It sounded just like Thursday. It's another day name. Taking Back Sunday. Yes. Oh my God, the names of that shit. That's so unreal that they weren't embarrassed just copying each other like that. But Taking Back Sunday, they had that one song. The same thing. It ends with that sentence of him screaming, "I got it bad. I got it bad. I got it bad." Like, they thought that was like artistic or hardcore. Well, they thought it was cool to everyone just say a sentence and scream it very, off time at the end, and that's emotional. That means something. It's so funny. It's not funny to me that people have taken their lives, but the fact that there's people out there that have killed themselves to Blink-182 Adam's song or Thursday or any of these things is like, what is wrong with humanity? that there's a chorus phaser pedal involved in pushing you to jump off a cliff. Like, how can we be this fucked up? I don't know, but yeah, not trying to be insensitive, but like, let's let them jump, okay? If Thursday is compelling you to jump off of an Irish cliff, so be it. I don't want to feel this way forever. God. Bring back bullies. Imagine we wouldn't have that whole genre of music if someone just like slapped those people early on. The first time they showed up with like their hair straightened, if they just gotten a nice heavy-handed, maybe double slap, like a slap on one side, slap on the other to kind of knock your head back into position. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know this: the longer I exist, the more that the small sliver of music that I like gets smaller. So the more I go, like, maybe I just like hate music, and there's this tiny fraction of it that I enjoy. But overall, I truly hate music. And that's a great note to end on. So that was episode 168 of This World Blows. Until next time, y'all. And we don't really have a phrase here, which maybe we should. Until next time, y'all. Keep hating. Keep hating. I don't know. I'll think of something. That's not good. But do keep hating. Till next time. Goodbye.